Hello everybody, welcome back to the next part of Scratch's Director's Cut. So, it's still 9 a.m., so time is not changing. We're obviously in the Twilight Zone. So we looked all around here. I wanted to save this path for a little bit later. I think it'll connect up this way anyway. I'm just trying to go through the natural progression of how you would look through the house so that we see everything. Because these are the kind of games where you have to look around at everything, and basically in any video game that you play, whatever is not nailed down to the floor, you take with you if it'll fit in your pocket. I always wanted to be a pianist, but eventually found another use for my fingers. Typing and writing books. Lots of cool, not that that's cool or anything, the dude's getting ready to cut his throat. But there's all kinds of different art pieces that you can look at in the different rooms. You see these kinds of pictures in a lot of different horror games and stuff. I always wonder, like, what is this called? Is there a name for this painting? And who painted it? What timer you got? A fancy red clock, which sadly wasn't functioning. Looks like it stopped. Yeah. Ooh, music's kicking in. The place was full of exquisite, albeit aged, candelabras. A generic standard lamp, still it was elegant and tasteful. Yeah, it's what you call a candelabra. Let's put a bunch of candles in them. Don't think that has any drawers on it that we can open. No. It's a cool picture. It almost looks like you're inside one of the barrels looking out through the hole. I think that's just the arch of the building, but that's the first thing I thought was that's the viewpoint looking out from being inside one of them. That's kind of creepy to think about. Moving on. What we have here, it was all gibberish to me. Well, usually there's a title for the composer. Same message we already read. In some horror games you can open up the stalls when you have pianos like this and find items. Can't walk around that way, I don't guess. And he has no comment about any of that. So you gotta walk this way a little, turn around, and then walk over. These chairs are probably expensive. Doesn't have any comment on these. We can just look closer at them. She's peeling something. This is like God or Zeus. One of the two. The place was full of exquisite, albeit aged, candelabras. Yeah, there's no comment about that one. An impressive fireplace and surprisingly clean too. although it hadn't been used in a long time. The fireplace had a generous amount of wood in it, and I was relieved to know that I could warm the place up in case it got cold. I'm certainly not good at chopping trees. Yeah, sometimes if you click a few times, you get a few different things written. Okay. I wondered how long that cup of coffee had been sitting there. We've encountered our first book. Oh man. Don't know what the title is. How many pages? A handful. A little hard to read. Not too bad. April 20th. During a tit of rage, I burnt my previous diary. Not that I'd regret it. As if, that's an F, as if my disjointed notes were worth anything. Their only purpose was to keep me sane. I feel that this is my escape route, my only means of finding some inner peace. Whenever I put my pen to the paper, I feel that I can reflect upon any situation. I just wish I had more options, that's all. But I'm rambling. I must think clearly. Focus, focus. May 22nd. I've become an internal guardian, stuck between few choices, none of which are good. Do I fulfill a promise and violate everything that I believe in, the very principles of my life, or am I condemned to spend the rest of my existence in the dead end? In this dead-end state, a ghost with no other purpose than just being here, watching. I truly have no escape. I can't find an appropriate solution to this problem, and I must pay the price. I'm a shadow of the man I used to be. Only these notes remain, my testament, in these moments of meditation, my sole companion. June 26th. Today I spent the entire afternoon staring at the window, my mind a blank. Oddly enough, I really didn't care. It seems now as though it was something natural for me, a part of my personality. But I know the reason very well. I'd lost my soul. I'm an empty shell, devoid of any feelings. I renounced them on that fateful day, and the worst thing is, I knew there were going to be consequences. No, that's not true. Consequences were far worse than I expected. How could I be so blind? January 21st? No? Yeah. That's a good time after. I often wonder what would have happened if we had simply reversed it all. What would have happened right now? I come out and told the world what really happened. Right now, I come out and know I'd end up rotting in jail, although that might be a better destiny compared to this eternal suffering. November 17th. I can't say for sure when it began. I just heard them one morning coming from the next room. The whispers, are they real? Have I been alone far too long? They won't stop. I can't stand it any longer. February 9th. Ever since I locked it away, that everything seems to have calmed down a bit. Perhaps James was right after all. It's madness, I know, but at this point I'd be inclined to believe anything. Sometime in May. Over the years I was convinced that everything James suffered was a misfortune, a whim of destiny. For the first time ever, I'm not so sure anymore. I never thought it could happen, but I believe I understand now. If this is so, then cursed be my soul, poor James. If I had acted in another way, then maybe things would have worked out differently. But it's too late now, and I have to suffer my Calvary. September 13th. The noises are back again. This time they're different. Before, I'd only hear them inside my head, as if someone or something was whispering. And how to put this, interrupting my thoughts, but now I can really feel them spreading around the house. What are they? September 14th. I've realized the noises are coming from down there. I don't want to think about it anymore. Sometime in December. They are unbearable. They get worse at night. Oh, how I wish they would stop. What is going on down there? And I don't dare go near. I don't want to know. March. December. March, maybe. Scratched out. God, how many years have passed? I have lost all sense of time. I have to get out of this place. The diary disturbed me in a way I couldn't explain, yet I felt curious about what had been tormenting that poor fellow. I think you get a limited time, you have to read what pops up. Thinking about it now, what I should really do is save my game to start with. Yes, make a quick save as well. I am going to put the message speed on slow as well, just for this purpose of recording a Let's Play, basically. Gives me more time to read what pops up. You save over that too. Yeah, we're in the living room. This is what that room is. You can always make a save and then look at your save, and whatever it's titled will tell you what room you're in, because like I said, I don't think there's a map. So this looks like a book. I guess it was a journal. There's no title. How about this one? It looked as if an untidy person enjoyed reading in the living room. What's so untidy about this? It's not very untidy. This place looks clean to me. Maybe dusty, but... Okay, so the next place we want to go... I think we've looked at everything here. There's no paintings on that wall. Can't check these things. Nope. See if the light switch on this works. Just in case I tried it again. You didn't try it the first time, but still there was no power. So this should be unlocked. Okay, this is the study, I think. Let's go ahead and just save. I won't do this in every room, but... Please. I wish it didn't kick you out. You have to save, and then you have to go back to the menu. Then look at the save. Yeah, it's a study. I was right. Alrighty. Let's take a look around this place. You know, oddly enough, this music, it really reminds me of the Penumbra series that we started. Or it reminds me of Amnesia, the Dark Descent soundtrack. I dig it. It suits the game. Oh, another untidy table. The glass was empty. Pity. I could have used a drink. Just a bunch of uninteresting books. So our character only likes to, invade people's privacies by reading diaries. Everything else is just uninteresting. So we've got any artwork. I think that's like a shield. Single candelabra. I won't reread if it's something we've already read before. Because a lot of times, yeah, there's just repeated comments on the same thing. Remnants of a previous fire. The stone in the fireplace was cold to the touch. So we don't got any logs in that one. Walk over that way. No smoking can kill you, especially when the cigars are decades old. This does have a drawer. The little drawer won't open, so I don't think we can ever get in there. There's no comment about the lamp. So one of those pictures, there's probably a name for these kinds of pictures. Shows you the globe. We have a literal globe. And we get like a 15 FPS spin. Just keeps going to the same spot, I believe. Yeah, nothing you can really do with it. Just spin it over and over. Another kind of shield or an emblem. I think we have to move over there closer. Yeah. A huge collection of books was impressive. I would have gladly spent days going through them. I do remember from the last time I played this that you can really get different, he'll say something different in certain areas. Basically, some of these are unique. I just don't remember which ones. Okay. He's just saying the same thing over and over, but there you go. The Necronomicon by Abdul Harazed. Whoa. Huge collection of books. Yeah. How to Grow Successful by John Holmes. That's why I'm taking my time here, just so I can... Part of these games, that's what... At the Mountains of Madness by H.P. Lovecraft, of course. The previous folks had taste, no question about that. Yeah, you're going to see H.P. Lovecraft come up a lot in the horror video games I play. This game was definitely influenced by him. So, one of his books, At the Mountains of Madness. The Grasshopper Lies Heavy by Hawthorne Abdinson. I've never been a book reader, so I don't claim to know these names. I obviously know who H.P. Lovecraft is, but it's mostly the ones that look different than others. You might get a unique comment. Okay, what about that? The diploma granting the title of construction engineer to James T. Blackwood. That's the name of this estate, basically, is the Blackwood Mansion, or manor. Most of the clocks in the house aren't working. Yeah. Several trophies from remarkable accomplishments adorned the room. Says the same about those. Okay, I think I clicked. Still got another area over there to look at. I think I tried everything. We actually can't step that way. Might have to walk around the other side when we inspect the table, and then we can... It's giving me the hourglass. Look closer at those. Ooh, there was something. The Elf, A-L-E-P-H, by George Louis Borges. A-L-E, Elf. That's a weird word. I don't know what that word is. And there's no secret bookcase, like, trick going on with this one. You can't pull a book and make it open a secret passage, but like one of the few other times I played this game, I realized, oh, he would actually say something different with some of these books. So it's kind of cool. So obviously the desk. Try this switch. Nope. Looks like another drawer on that side. No. Guess not. So yeah, the main place of interest is obviously this desk. Yeah, I can't walk there. Alright, see what we got. Can't look at that. Oof, wow. How many pages we got? Oh man. That's longer than the first one. February 6th, the construction of the railway bridge is almost complete and went quite smoothly. It took longer than I expected, yet I wish it would have lasted longer. I'll be very sad to leave South Africa. I've become so attached to it, its culture, its arts, over the past few months. Then that I can't help feeling as if it was already part of me. I will surely return someday, soon, hopefully. Although I'm afraid there is a great deal of work to be taken care of back in Old Britain. Fortunately, I made good friends here who were ecstatic about my new appreciation for their country. The music just kind of fades in and out at random times in this game. They have offered me some wonderful objects as a token of gratitude, which I have already crated, put in a crate, and got ready to ship, along with many trinkets I bought myself. It looks like I'm about to start a very substantial collection. It's a good thing Catherine agreed to move into our new home, although I fear several renovations will have to be made. Even more if I'm intending to start a serious new hobby. It seems I'll have to get back to work. John Patterson has just told me some natives are causing trouble. A very unfortunate thing, although I'm secretly rejoicing. February 12th. The natives won't leave. It's not like they're causing trouble so much as they're unsettling our workers. The only complaint so far has been distraction. They just stand still between the trees, staring at us without blinking an eye. I've watched them for a few minutes, and they truly seem like some tenebrous statues. At first it was just annoying, but lately it has become downright creepy. They seem to be stalking us. So it's not like they're hindering the construction, but there is a general uneasy feeling as if they were about to jump at us at any moment. I think I will hire some protection as a means of precaution. February 15th. Fascinating. I've been looking into these natives. They live in a nearby village in a very small group, yet they seem to manage quite well. I had thoughts of them as quite an uncivilized tribe, but their movements are calculated, and one can perceive a sense of careful organization in their tasks. Oddly enough, they seem to be very brutish, and their aspect looks awful. Although I couldn't take a good look at their facial features as I followed one of them completely on my own, and it could have been dangerous getting any closer. Also, the village is poor and very rough, but some of the shacks leapt out at us, inviting or special. It made me very curious. I will try to come closer tomorrow. February 16th. My second expedition to the village of the natives has been foiled by an unexpected problem at the bridge. I'm afraid it was due to a slight miscalculation on my part, an indication that I should have been focusing more on the task at hand and put my sudden love for all African things aside for a moment. It was my fault and I accept it. February 20th. They are at it again, lurking beyond the forest. It's amazing. Now they have changed our perception of the surroundings. At first, we were delighted by the quiet nature of the place. Now we fear what horrors might be concealed in that dark and foreboding cloak of trees. The tops loom above us, overshadowing the bridge, and strange noises haunt our meals. Even the river telling ungodly secrets. Is that really what that says? Yeah? Even the river telling ungodly secrets. We could be, of course, a bit more sensitive towards distractions, but I can't help feeling the area has in fact become more sinister. And yet I'm still looking forward to satisfying my curiosity about the tribe. February 24th. At last I found something more about the neighboring tribe. This is an incredible finding, and I just can't withhold my excitement. Some elders at the local town happen to know about them, but only through stories they have heard. The most surprising thing is that the tribe was assumed to be extinct long ago, but according to my vague descriptions, the elders think that we could be dealing with a legend here. Everything they ever learned of them was during their childhood, when the tribe was stalking the town, much in the same way they have been stalking us. People used to call them Dahana. Is that how I'm saying that right? Dahan. As such was the sound of screams heard echoing late in the night. You'd come out into the streets and see an evil glitter atop a hill in the distance. Some would say it was a fire, others cursed spirit of an ancient god. Whatever it was, they say the bright light amid those fantastic screams was bone-chilling. The macabre scene would suddenly stop just as it had begun out of nowhere, never to be seen again in days to come. Intervals between those horrible nights became longer and longer, until they soon faded into oblivion. The tribe apparently had retreated back into obscurity. Until now. They were later known as the Dalmar, a rather more scientific name, although none of the people I spoke with could possibly remember its origin. I find it extremely surprising that nobody here has heard about this tribe with the exception of a few townspeople. They must be incredibly rare and, judging by the stories passed on from generation in the town, very old. February 27th. I will confess that I've become nearly obsessed with this strange tribe. I see them as the most prized goal of my appreciation towards all South African things, a dangerous yet irresistible reward. I feel as if they were my discovery. I simply have to study them before leaving. I fear I won't have a chance to ever again. It has become an important goal of mine, even more important than finishing the bridge. March 14th. Which we got left here. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to stop here mid-journal read at March 14th, since we're getting close here to ending the video. Appreciate you watching and putting up with my horrible reading skills. And we will see you in the next video. Bye.